Okay, what's up everybody? This is A7X Man Ben, and welcome to the semifinals of tournament number 3. This is game 1 between HMS GT UPS and Saccing Treasure Traders Fleet by Gazer Beam 543. And so this is game 1 of the set. And general plan is still to have a 3-game series, but if after 2 or 3 games the winner is not quite obvious and satisfying, like if it still feels like a super close matchup, there is a chance that it will go past a best of 3 series. So we're gonna see who goes first here. So the fleets are going to be linked in the description, and for the roll off to see who goes first, we got red for HMS GT UPS, black for Treasure Traders. So here we go. The Traders fleet will go first, so they'll place the first island as well. So they generally want islands to be pretty much relatively close. They wouldn't mind a little more than 3L, but they're going to have speeds on their main ships of SLS and probably SSS. There's a chance the Cassandra will forgo her helmsman in favor of Hidden Cove, but we'll get to that once we get to +5 selections. We're going to go right there, and HMS GT UPS, they want islands about 4L apart, and it's probably because the GT with Micron and a helmsman is probably be moving about 6S max speed, which is a little bit more than 4L. They're going to go ahead and place the second island 4L apart there, or 4L away. So next fleet, getting back to the traders, they're going to go north of this island, and it's probably going to be a relatively basic island setup. I don't know if either fleet's really going to go crazy with the meta. HMS GT UPS, they might put the last island farther away to try to make it harder for the other fleet to get started. I think they probably will. They might as well. Let's see why not. So they'll go 4 all the way there, and then next fleet is going to go probably in the middle. Generally, I think they're going to measure from that last island they placed, the Traders fleet. So they're going to go from here, and they're going to go a little bit more than 3L in the middle. So that would be about 4 if it was out to there. Yeah, they're going to try right in the middle there. And then, actually, you know what? No, they're not. They're not going to. They are going to play the meta a little bit, realizing that HMS GT is about to pick the last island, and therefore probably is going to put them 6L away. They're actually going to go north of this one, and they're going to go 4L up in here. So they're going to try that, and then we'll see how HMS GT UPS responds to that. That does make it a little more interesting, because it's not an unlimited play ocean size. So they could go way up there, but it's not really going to be much farther away than if they just go in the middle. They could, and then have like a perimeter, like a circular ocean. I guess they'll just think about it a little bit more. So I wonder if there's room in the corner. It would be closer than the 4L distance that they kind of want, but if there's room in this corner, they might actually try this. Yeah, I think they're going to do that, because that way this island or that island will be farther away than if they put the last island here or in the middle. So yeah, I think they just barely have room. So yeah, and then this one, it's about 4L from that, and it is 3L. It is 3L from that one. Yeah, they're gonna try that. That's a weird one, especially with flat Earth, because you won't be able to get through there. So it's a limited area in which you can dock. That could be pretty interesting. A little bit of a different ocean setup. It was almost even more unique if they had placed the last island there, but that's going to kind of make the home island meta like non-existent probably. So HMS GT UPS is probably going to put the enemy fleet either there or there, because they pick their home island first. So seems reasonable. Okay, so terrain, HMS GT UPS, they want some whirlpools, a couple whirlpools, probably a couple fog banks, probably not much else. They'll vote for 4. They're probably going to want 2 of each of those types. And then the traders fleet, so they see the deck plates. The crew technically wouldn't be visible yet, so they're not privy to that face down crew, but face up crew, but they would see the HMS Grand Temple deck plate and the ship, and the enemy fleet. So they're kind of thinking they're going to be up against that beast of a ship. So therefore, they actually don't think they want to put any whirlpools. They actually might not want to put much at all. They see big and small ships in the enemy fleet, so it's kind of debatable if they should put some reefs or sargassos or both. I think they're going to vote. I think they're going to vote 1, especially because they're going first. And sometimes, if there's a lot of whirlpools, a player that goes second can take advantage of those with double actions early in the game, sometimes in the first round to blindside the enemy. So we're actually just going to vote 1. The traders fleet, we're going to vote for 1 train. That way, if there's a whirlpool, they probably wouldn't be able to take advantage of it. So, all right, so roll off again. Red for GT fleet. So for the train vote, okay. So they get the traders fleet, they get their vote on that. So only 1 train, place per player. So, and actually traders fleet is going first. They should have proposed their train number first, but whatever. They probably still would have proposed 1. So, because theoretically they would like hear the proposition of the enemy fleet, and then they could, you could gamify that too and be like, oh, they want to place 4, we can vote less, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, but they get their choice of 1. They're probably going to place a reef, I guess. They could do a fog bank. Yeah, they're going first actually, so they might actually pop a fog bank. Because only 1 reef, if they could place a bunch of reefs, they might try that, because Grand Temple could have a problem with reefs, but with only 1 train to place, I think they're going to go fog. And they kind of see the writing on the wall of the island meta, that they're probably going to get placed on one of these like outer islands, not near this like a little bit closer cluster. So they're kind of thinking they might want a fog bank on the way home. So I think they're going to do a little bit in the middle though. Try something like that. It's too hard to know where they're going to go. So, all right. Like there's not an obvious island that's like 5 or 6 all the way. So you could go in the northwest or the northeast or maybe even southwest. So, okay. So HMS GT UPS. So they can't place. There's only 1 train to place, so there's no point in doing whirlpool. So they see the other fleet has some 4 masters. I think they're just gonna go fog as well. I don't know. They might try that. Yeah, they'd really like whirlpools, but they didn't get the train vote. So yeah, reefs, sargassos. None of it really makes sense. At this point, they don't really care what gets placed. They're just gonna do a fog as well. I'm gonna try 1 in the middle there, because they anticipate maybe having access to that area on round 1. Yeah, based on the home island selection. So, and speaking of which, that's what we got next. So, HMS GT UPS as player 2 picks the home island of Traders Fleet. Traders Fleet as all pirate ships, so they're going to be the black tokens. And based on that fog bank placement, I think they're actually going to get put up in the northeast. I suppose this might be a little closer to this cluster than that. Actually, you know what? I think it is. I mean, each one, yeah, because on the east side of the map, once you get here, these 2 are kind of close compared to once you get there, if they started there. Yeah. If they put them here, they will have closer access to the fog bank they place, but I guess HMS UPS really isn't that worried about that fog bank, so I think that's the best choice to put them up in the northwest there. So I'm going to place the ships for Traders Fleet. So Jolly go up in the corner, try to stay safe, and I have a feeling they might use Hidden Cove because of this distance dilemma. One thing they want to do is measure. So for Hidden Cove, you measure from the ship that it's getting used on. That's not their final placement of that ship, the Cassandra, but basically, I want to measure this real quick. So if they use Hidden Cove, it's nearest unexplored wild island, which might be, they might have a quick trip to that island. So that's 3L and 2S to get over there, down south. From where the jib is measured, this is going to be farther no matter what, though. Yeah, I don't think they can place either ship. I could really try to gamify it and place it something like that. So this is where it gets crazy. This is a part of the meta that I don't think gets talked about much, like the Hidden Cove meta in regards to where you place ships at your home island to gamify getting the exact Hidden Cove location you want. So that's more than 3L, 3S. So I don't think they can place either ship so that it's closer than, nah, definitely not. They can't place either ship so it can be Hidden Cove northeast. So in that case, yeah, they really want ships to go to different islands. In that case, they're gonna do the opposite. They're gonna measure from here. I'm gonna see if Cassandra, if she has a helmsman, can 6S reach the island down here with two actions. So that's 4, 5, 6. She could get there. So she could stack on the way out. So they don't really need Hidden Cove. They might forego it, I think. So if they use Hidden Cove, they would use one action to redock, another action to move home, but then they'd still have to stack on the way back to get home in just 2 turns. So I think they're going to probably, for their +5 selections, they're probably going to go with a helmsman on Cassandra instead of Hidden Cove. And then either way, Neptune's Horde is going to be moving the farther distance. She's going to try to get up that island. I don't think she'll be able to reach it on the first turn. No, that's okay. I mean, well, that's assuming she even goes there. She might actually go, they got to place the enemy home island. I think that's probably going to be in the northeast, actually. I think it almost has to be. Yeah. So they might actually, I think they're going to dock. I think they're going to start like this, actually. Because if they put the HMS GT UPS fleet down here, she's going to have quicker access to islands because they're closer together. And then she'd bounce between them, which could be a problem. So they're probably going to put HMS GT UPS there, so they only have quick access to one island, essentially. So, or at least ideally. So I think that seems like a reasonable analysis. They're going to try that. So we're going to put, got the white tokens for HMS GT UPS, and the Trader's Fleet is going to plop them in the northeast to start. So we're going to put their 3 ships there. Patagonia and Core both trying to stay safe. Got a couple home island campers, which is pretty typical for a Universal Pirate shipping fleet, of course. So that's your home island selection. So we go to placing crew. So player 1 is Trader's Fleet. So they've got the Hag on Jolly Mon, and then once again, fleets are in the description. So according to their +5, they are going to bring in face down pirate oarsmen on their home island, which is basically a sack replenishment. When their main 4 masters run out of sack food, one of them will get an extra oarsman. And then they're going to place the helmsman on Neptune's Horde. This is in accordance with their first round of play. So basically, I had to refer back to the earlier battle reports on the +5s because they need to keep them the same, because basically the 40 points of the starting fleet has to be static throughout the entire tournament. So that's basically how it's supposed to work. And then the +5 selections are specifically what's modular. So they can only change what they could have changed in the last round. So the big decision is basically helmsman on Cassandra or Hidden Cove. And like I already talked about, I think they're going to do Cassandra helmsman because they know she can get to this island with 6S speed, 2 actions. Basically sack on turn 1 to get there, explore. Turn 2, sacks to get home with whatever treasure she finds. So, and that allows, Neptune's Horde's a little bit faster, so she's going to be headed to the southeast, basically. So, all right. So that's their placing crew in +5s. And then for the other fleet, they've got Face Up at home. They've got Robinson and Broughtley on Patagonia, of course, and they've got Al Ra on the Core. And their +5s are basically, they're going to do English Oarsmen on Grand Temple, of course, and then they've got Oarsmen with a Core du Lion. She's only going to start the game with 1. That's all she's got cargo space for. 1 English Oarsman face down. They've got a couple more on their home island, 1 English, 1 French. And for their last point, that's their main +5 decision, is whether or not to do the Jolly-Man, which would be a proxy because there's already the main one in the other fleet, or I think they're actually going to go with Divers, the event that lets you keep treasure from a sunken ship instead of splitting it. So I think they're actually going to try the Divers event. They already have Hidden Cove in their core 40 points. They're going to add a second event. I don't think the Jolly-Man would benefit them in this game. I don't think she'd really reach an island fast enough to do anything good. And if they encounter one of these enemy Four Masters and can sink it with gold aboard, they'd love to just take it all and not split it. So they're going to go with Divers. And that finishes their +5 selections, and the placing crew and placing equipment phases. So for placing treasure, basically got the default contributions that you may have seen in the description. So each fleet's going to be going with 3 UTs and 5 3s. And we've got Natives, Missionary, and Plague in the Traders fleet, and Barbary Banner, Trees, and Spyglass in the GT UPS fleet. So I'll mix them up, 4 per island, and we'll be ready to go. Okay, ready to start game 1. So here we go. Timer. Just clock's not an endgame condition, as I've said before. Just try to help me keep on track playing the game, so not have it take forever. So without further ado, so left timer works perfectly for the left home island of the Traders fleet. So now we'll start. So Neptune's Horde, Cassandra, they're both going to reveal their helmsman, and Cassandra is going to reveal Don Pedro Gilbert, because she's going to sack in a moment here. She's going to use her spying ability. So once per turn, you can look at a face-down cargo on any ship. So they're going to go straight to the Grand Temple, look at Captain Jack Sparrow. They can use that on an enemy turn too. So I'm actually going to do this twice on their turn, just for timer purposes, because they would just use it as soon as the enemy turn starts. They would use it again. So 3S gets her there. She's going to sack a face-down oarsman to Don Pedro Gilbert in order to get another move action, and 1, 2, 3 gets her to the island. She reveals her explorer crew, and they're going to mark this explored with their token. Check out the goodies. Wow. All right, 3 out of the 6 UTs. We got Plague, we got Natives, we got Barbary Banner. So she can trade away. That's a weird mix. Okay, so she can trade away one of these per Don Pedro Gilbert. She's got 2 negatives though, so she's gonna have to deal with one of those either way. So does she wanna? She does not want to get stuck with Natives. Natives is gonna slow the fleet down like crazy. They want to get that 8 gold home. Natives is gonna make her super susceptible to Grand Temple. They just saw that Grand Temple does have the captain ability on board, so ship reveals Natives may not be given actions for a number of rounds equal to the number of crew on her when Natives is revealed. Leave it face down the island. So she'd be stuck for 4 turns, which is probably, that very well might be longer than the game will even last. So, and now that they've seen Captain Jack Sparrow with Cassandra, they can also make a pretty good assumption that this is a full-scale UPS fleet that they're up against, which is kind of intimidating just for speed purposes, because those fleets can often win the game in 2 or 3 turns. So although Plague would knock out the crew, at least they could have a chance at getting some of this gold home. I think Natives is going to keep them there for too long. So yeah, I think they're going to trade away Natives before they have to reveal UTs and all that. So they're going to put Natives on the island closest to the GT fleet. So, and then they're going to pick a random treasure from this island and grab this one instead that they have to load. So it's a 3, and this could actually be kind of an interesting situation. So now you would apply the UTs. So Plague and Barbary Banner, they don't conflict, but so Plague eliminates all the crew. This is actually a pretty interesting situation because arguably they should trade the Plague to that island in hopes that the GT will go there and find it. But of course, Grand Temple might be able to avoid that island, which I think they might do now. So it's really debatable which UT to trade away, because Plague could kill Captain Jack Sparrow, but natives could also freeze HMS Grand Temple for 3 turns. She's got 3 crew aboard right now. So anyway, they've already traded, so it's not really something they should be able to undo now that they've seen the treasure that they normally would load. So this is interesting. So you have to resolve the UTs. So Plague wipes out the crew, but normally you have to load traded treasure. So they're going to automatically load Plague, Barbary Banner, that undocks the ship, and you have to be given another explore action or do something to get the treasure. So since the Plague killed the explorer, that actually interrupts the loading of the treasure. So I think that would also prevent the loading of the treasure that has to be loaded via the treasure trading ability. But I'll ask Wolf in the rules thread. The other thing is Plague kills the treasure trader, which is Don Pedro Gilbert. So therefore maybe she wouldn't, that might make it less likely that she has to load that 3. So the code does say that once Plague kills the explorer, then you can't transfer other coinage. You have to just resolve the UTs. But since the explorer was killed, based on the order of operations for explore action, you can't load the other coins. So that's pretty unfortunate. She does technically have 5 gold on board. It's not worth it yet, but Barbary Banner when unloaded would be 5. So of course with Plague, she can't dock at the home island, but she might use the Plague on Jolly Mon. So we'll see. All right, so Neptune's Horde is going to head out next. She's probably gonna sack, I guess, to try to get going quickly here. She kind of doesn't want to sack because she's not going to get to an island anyway. But I feel like if she doesn't, it's just going to be more problematic in the long run because she's facing a UPS fleet, basically. All SS. Okay. 2 more actions. She might be able to get to that island in the south. Either way, yeah, I think she's gonna reveal Havana Black and sack a face down oarsman. Actually, you know what? Before thinking about this, she has 5 crew. If she reveals 1 oarsman, that doesn't take up space. And then for points, she's good. 5, 2. So that's 7 plus 3 is 10. Yeah, before. So I'm gonna say before she moved like that, she's actually gonna pick up. She's gonna flip one of her oarsmen face up and load as a free action one of the face down oarsmen from the home island, because she can already tell that she's going to need more sack fodder than expected on this first trip, or at least than expected when she came into the game. But obviously with this island setup, it's going to take a while to get to an island, for her at least. She could reach this, she could get here. The problem is they know there's 6 gold there, and that plus Barbary Banner is only 11. So they already know they don't have enough to win based on this island, so they don't want to delay trying to find better treasures to try to win. So she does a face-up oarsman so it doesn't take up space, and then loads another one that occupies the 5th spot, and then she is going to sack that face-up oarsman with Havana Black, move again, and she's going to keep trudging towards this island here. Just going to go full speed towards it, basically. So, okay. And that's pretty much all they can do, I believe. So that ends kind of an interesting first turn. And we'll get to HMS GT UPS fleet next, of course. So they are going to go ahead and flip Hidden Cove to move the HMS Grand Temple to the nearest unexplored wild island. But they know that the enemy fleet traded a coin here, which really makes them worried about what that could be. And Now they just have to decide which island to go to. So like now, so they dock here, but they're not going to explore. They're actually just going to move to a different island. They can't get to either of these with only one move action, so they'll have to use Micron just to get there to a different island, but they're okay with that. I think they should go here. This is interesting. So Neptune's Horde, unlike Don Pedro Gilbert, her treasure trading ability is face up. So they know that if Neptune's Horde gets here, she could trade away negative ET to this island. If GT goes here, her redocking next turn to send another coin home could encounter that negative UT. So I think she wants to explore this first before the other fleet gets there. And even if Neptune's Horde sacks to attack, which is quite possible, even if Grand Temple is able to dock like down here, she's going to bet that she can survive the fight reasonably well. And worst case, if not, the Fog Bank is pretty close. So they're going to, I think they like this docking location here for Hidden Cove. And then they're going to reveal their helmsman on HMS Grand Temple. I'm just going to flip CJS and Explorer as well because I know they're going to use them. And Patagonia, Micron gets flipped up on Patagonia. So she's going to get 2 move actions here to get to this island. So 1, 2, 3S, the first action. And then, yeah, she can barely get there actually. So 1, 2, 3. She just wants to make sure she stays out of range on the Neptune's Horde's first action, which hopefully will work. Yeah, barely. That's a close one. It's a close call, but yeah, I don't think Neptune's Horde would have more than 1 cannon range for her first action. There is a decent chance she'll attack, but probably because they might not have much choice other than to go after the Grand Temple. So, but this could be bad. They might find negative ET. We'll see what happens. So, Explorer and Grand Temple. Yep, they got Missionary and Trees. So they get totally screwed. And this could really dramatically affect the game. And this is also going to dramatically affect the unique treasure choices for the GT fleet in Game 2. And maybe even going forward in general competitive play. They haven't faced a fleet yet that has this volume of negative UTs, or maybe they have, but they didn't know that the enemy fleet had these UTs in them because they're not privy to their games. Basically, fleets don't watch other matchups in the tournament that they're not involved in. Like they don't like see that happening. They don't have that omniscience. So they're gonna go with some wipe UTs and eliminators in the next game, like Karmic Idol and Maps of Alexandria, that stuff, the revealers and wipers. So trees won't happen. There's no mass to repair. So Missionary applies, wipes out the crew, similar to Plague, that interrupts the exploring, and they can't send home the 3s. So it's basically a complete trash turn for the HMS Grand Temple fleet based on the look of the treasure distribution. So they're not too happy. Core can't really do much. They've already used Micron, so there's not really anything else they can do, I don't think. So they'll turn it over, and now Neptune's Horde is probably going to go after Grand Temple a little bit more aggressively because she knows she doesn't have crew. So, and Missionary, actually, yeah, Missionary goes out of the game, I think. Let me make sure I get that right. Got my handy little unique treasure booklet gift from Redgo. So yeah, remove all crew on the ship for the game, and then remove Missionary from the game. So that one's gone. And oh, the spying, I forgot about that. So they would have looked at another Grand Temple crew, and now on their turn, they're going to look at Core du Lyon's face down French crew, which is Maurice Aristide. So they can already tell that it's a UPS fleet with gold bonuses. So both fleets have been hit hard by these negative UGs so far. Cassandra, she does have Barbary Banner, so she's going to start heading home. She can only go SPSS now, but she can dump the Plague on Jollymon, which kills the Hag, and then she'll be able to dock home the Barbary Banner. So Neptune's Horde, yeah, she might as well go after this island now. It's going to be interesting. So let me put a die here to make sure I don't mess this up. So I might not do this movement. 1, 2. Okay, they can reach the island with 1 action. So I think they might try that. Oh, they also know that there's no negative UTs, at least that they contributed, that are down here. They could trade the trees with that island and then prevent Grand Temple from using it. They actually, since they can sack and then move to explore with the second action no matter what. So I think with the first action, they should at least try to get in range. Because they only need to dock and explore once, of course. So I think I'm going to try, yeah, they can get a cannon in range here, which is valuable in this case. So I don't see, the second one is not in range, but the first one, let me make sure it's not blocked by the island. It's actually closer than I expected. But actually, yeah, it's actually not in range. If you measure from where the die is on the mast, it's not in range. And it crosses the island blocks the line of fire, so that, okay. That's too bad, but that's okay. So, the overhead view, even the bow cannon's not in range, first action, but they are able to sack with Havana Black, so they'll do that and get up nice and cozy and let loose a full broadside. It's kind of debatable whether or not they should do this. If they miss a lot, they could be in real trouble, but the problem is if they don't, I don't know if they're going to get a better chance. And also, the problem is Micron in the enemy fleet, because then even without crew, with Micron, they could still move and then shoot. Basically, they could try to go, if Grand Temple is limited to like over here, they could dock here. I think they want to go for the attack though, because they can do a lot right now. They're going to basically move a second time, get up right here, block the Grand Temple's movement to starboard a little bit, and they're going to reveal their explorer. They're going to explore first before they shoot, I think. Actually, no, they should shoot first. If they treasure trade and they find an unexpected negative UT from the other fleet on this island that they'll trade with, they could knock out Plague and kill the captain. So they're going to shoot first. So Havana Black is going to go ahead and loose full broadside, needs higher than 3s. Oh wow, so 3 hits, 3 for 4. So Grand Temple loses 3 mass, so they'll take out the 3 S's and the 2L at the stern, leaving 3 2Ls on the ship. So our carnage here. First attack of the game. And then with the Explorer, they can still take a peek at these and see what Grand Temple found beyond just the missionary. And they see 2 3s and trees. So they really don't want Grand Temple exploring and using trees to repair, so they're going to trade that away and receive the random top coin from the southeastern island, and it's another 3. So Neptune's Horde, she can only load 2 of them, so she has to load the one she just traded for the ability text. She flips her last oarsman face up so it doesn't take up space, and then 3 crew that still do take up space though, so she can only load 2 of the 3s. One of them stays here, and I'll mark this island, and I think that should have already unpaused it, whatever. So that's it. So no sacking for Cassandra. Jolly Mon, she's actually gonna move. She's gonna make it a little easier for the Cassandra to plague her soon, because then Jolly Mon might actually try to make a long journey to the northeast to try to plague one of the enemy home island ships. I don't think she'll make it there before the game ends, but it's kind of for this fleet matchup, it's kind of a slower game, especially because there's only 3s in the distribution, so it's harder to get 16 with less high value coins out there, or it takes longer to get 16. So okay, so now Grand Temple, I think she should just shoot twice. This is gonna be intense. Yeah, with 6 shots, yeah, it's gonna be a mistake on the other fleet's part, but we'll see. I think it was still probably worth it. So all right, yeah, so first action, Grand Temple. There's a variety of things she could do. I mean, she could hide in the fog. I think she's got to kill the Neptune's Horde. I don't see a smarter move than that. So it would take 2 actions just to get to the fog bank with no crew. She doesn't have her helms on anymore. So, and she can't reach this island with 4S speed. Even if she could, there's no Captain Jack Sparrow to trade treasure home. So Neptune's Horde would probably follow her. So she's gonna shoot. So we start, I guess I'll reuse the red dice here, because it's all 2L cannons. Just got a trio of those. Oh man, so only 1 for 3. 1, 2, 4 on the rolls. So Micron, get a second action, blast away once again. Oh my god. Okay, so this is a bizarre change of luck for me. Normally 3S cannons like the Horde has are terrible for me, and 2Ls work pretty well, but here she only goes 2 for 6. So a very disappointing shoot action from the Grand Temple. She was hoping to at least dismast Neptune's Horde, but due to this poor luck, she's gonna probably fall, I think, because the Horde is probably gonna go for the kill here. And okay, so Coeur d'Alene, she sees the writing on the wall. There's no Captain Jack Sparrow in the game now, so she's gonna have to go get treasure on her own. So I think she's gonna keep Aristide aboard. She's gonna swap her English, face-down English oarsman for a face-down French one that she can actually use the ability of. And she's not gonna have space for any others, so she's gonna head out because there's not gonna be any treasure trading home. So, okay. So, disappointing turn for HMS GTUPS. We turn it back over. Round 3 begins with Cassandra. Actually, no, I'm going to go with John Ron first. I think they're going to meet in the middle. They can actually do this transfer right now with the Plague. They're going to do this transfer. So, Cassandra touches Jollymon with Plague, which kills the Hag of Tortuga. As far as I know. That's a weird one. So I'd have to check the rules on this. Normally the Hag can only be eliminated by an enemy action or ability. So I think it might actually not do anything to the Hag. But let me check. Check the pirate code under ransom keyword. Plague, eliminate all crew on the ship. She cannot dock. So even though it's not an enemy ability or action, it says certain unique treasures also trigger it, including Plague. So since all the crew are revealed and you have no choice, it does take out the Hag. But they're not really opposed to that because it just means that the enemy can't capture or eliminate the Hag for gold. So they're kind of happy about the long-term implications of this because now they have like a Plague weapon to use against Kawar or Patagonia in the enemy fleet. So that's 2 of their ships. Now they've got the Horde, which is going to be fun. So, because she's going to be, I think she should sack her Explorer to slam the GT. She could run, but they don't want to let GT live. For damage calculations, they can do a maximum of like 5 or 6 damage. So they're going to be sacking for 4 shots. They can ram. So yeah, I think they should attack here. It's a little bit debatable, but not too debatable. Once they sack the Explorer too, they could actually redock and take that coin. But they wouldn't sack until after the first action, so I guess that won't work quite yet. But that's okay. So the only question now is whether to ram with the first action or the second action. If they ram with the first, it's more likely, it's at least possible they dismast and not be pinned for the second action, and then they can tow it. So I think they'll go with that. Yeah, I think they're gonna move away and ram. So they might be able to dismast with this first action before they even sack. So they're gonna ram with the bowsprit there, and we're gonna move, shoot, ram, board, order of operations. So go ahead, fire their 3S cannons. So their luck is the expected 50%, so 1 mast out. They'll do the ram roll now. Need more than a 2. Okay, so they don't get the ram either. So now they're pinned. So it's getting worse now. So their luck is decreasing here. So this could be a little iffy. So HMS Grand Temple loses 1 mast from that action. They are going to decline to board. HMS Grand Temple has nothing to lose, so they are going to board. She'll be red, and Neptune's Horde black for the board. Okay, so GT loses 6-3 overall in the boarding party. But she has nothing to lose or get eliminated, so nothing happens with the boarding. Now for the second action, Neptune's Horde, she is going to sacrifice her Explorer to shoot, and she's pinned now, so she can't re-ram, but she's got a couple more 3S shots, so she's going to let loose with those. And she hits with both. Okay, so that's huge because it takes out final 2 masts on Grand Temple. So it didn't start great, but turn this double action from Horde has gotten better as it goes along. And that's huge because now Grand Temple is fully derelict and likely to influence the outcome in favor of the Trader's fleet, if I had to guess. So we'll see how things go. Still a decent amount left. Problem is Core, I don't think Core she can't win this for the other fleet on her own. She needs help. She's just a helper ship. She can't really be a main asset here. Yeah, Grand Temple traded away the trees. So Grand Temple, she's gonna, I guess she'll explore just to make this coin slightly harder to get to. Because now Horde can she's not pinned with no mass on the Grand Temple. She can just dock and grab this because the Explorer took up a cargo space, but now they can fill that with this coin. So Grand Temple, they're gonna re-explore and load this 3 just to make it a little harder for the enemy fleet to get to. But Micron is now gonna go to the Jollymon, or not the Core. So she can't quite reach this island, but she can get right there. Of course, they know that the enemy traded a coin there. They don't know that it's natives, but they know that it's probably a bad UT. So she might not explore there, but all right, so we turn it over, and the other fleet, Jollymon with Plague, is gonna head towards the enemy home island. Try to plague one of those ships. Cassandra is gonna, yeah, she gets home and unloads Barbary Banner, which is worth 5 gold. So we finally have, I did not think it was gonna take till, I think this is the 4th round, to get any treasure unloaded, but now they're up 5 zip, technically, with that UT. And Neptune's Horde is she's gonna capture Grand Temple with her first action. And then now with her move action. So she's going to, yeah, let's see. I don't think she wants to tow her home. Let me think about the money logistics. I know Grand Temple has a 3. They can transfer now. Horde has 6. That's 9. Okay, plus Banner and some of this would be enough. So they can win pretty easily, I think. So Neptune's Horde is going to, she's got to finish her action before GT can explore. Yeah, they could use an explore action to loot the enemy derelict for the 3, but they'd rather capture the ship and just technically have it in their fleet. So, all right, so with towing, base move reduced to S, but she's got the helmsman still. So she's gonna move there with Grand Temple. Or she could go southeast. Actually, that's insane. Yeah, with the trees there. They know there's trees. That's disgusting. Yeah, this is not gonna... I think we know who's gonna win, but I don't like simulating, so we're gonna play it out. Probably gonna go kind of quick with it. Yeah, so she's still gonna capture, but yeah, she's gonna try going southwest, or southeast, I mean. So she's gonna go there. Just do that. And then now Grand Temple is now in the other fleet, and she's going to use her action of the turn to explore the Neptune's Horde. Her coin should be face down. Anyway. And they're going to use Cassandra's ability to spy the face down French oarsman on Coeur du Lion. They're not too worried about that. Neptune's Horde, her cargo space is now full. 3 crew, 2 that take up space, and then 3 coins. And then she might not sack, I suppose. Yeah. They kind of don't need to, I guess. Yeah, they feel fine with the situation. So we're gonna end their turn, actually. So let me think about this. So now they can see the writing on the wall. The other fleet knows that, yeah, because they explored this first. They know that trees was there. So they pretty much know it's here. And they see that the captured Grand Temple might be able to use it soon to get all her mass back up. So Coeur du Lion, and they also know a negative UT was likely traded here. So I guess they're gonna, this is ugly. They're not gonna get there first, I don't think, but they can try with Micron, so they can at least move 4S. And then that way, next turn they would get there. Yeah. Either way, they need 2 actions to get their next turn, though. Even if I had maneuvered slightly differently, I think it would still take 2 actions next turn as well to get there. So, unfortunately, that's all I can really do. I don't have any access to HMS Grand Temple anymore. So, Jollymon, got Cassandra. Try to get those last 3s, and then Neptune's Horde. It's going to head down southeast. S plus S. And then she might actually. So they've spied the Coeur du Lion's cargo, and they know it's not. They know they don't. She doesn't have an explorer, so they know they don't need to sack to explore this island first. Of course, they might not explore it. I guess they would explore it with Grand Temple because she'll dock automatically. So Neptune's Horde, she actually lost her explorer already, so that works out fine though. So whatever. And then if there's any unexpected negative UTs there, the derelict Grand Temple can soak them up. So whatever. Yeah, so they're not going to sack, so they're done there. And then the other fleet, I don't know how they. There's no way to do this right. I guess they might actually go back to the other island now and just hope the values are good. Yeah, I gotta go quick. It's pretty obvious who's gonna win, so I'm just gonna try to go fast. So, Coeur du Lion with Micron for the second action is gonna explore here. So we know they're gonna find natives. They also find spyglass. So they'll load that, and they'll load a 3. They only have space for the 1. Actually, they don't have any space because Aura forces the oarsman to take up space. They actually have to dump the oarsman to load a 3, but the natives would take effect before that. So natives, I'm going to mark this with a die. So natives would freeze the ship for 3 turns because that's how many crew were on the ship when it explored. So that's a 3 token for that. And that's all they can really do. So the other fleet, Cassandra moves towards the island, Jollymon towards Patagonia with Plague, and then Neptune's Horde is going to go here. Dock does not have an explorer, but HMS Grand Temple can still be given an explore action. So just going to check out the rest of the coins here. And she does find 3 3s and the trees. So she can use trees to repair all her masts, and she will load all 3 3s with no crew. She actually has space for all 3 of them. So that's pretty funny. So trees is used and goes out of the game. So when trees is revealed, fully repair this ship and then remove trees from the game. So I'm gonna pause it, get all our maps back up, and then we'll see the next turn. Okay, so back to GT UPS fleet, and their timer, I think the timer technically only starts now. So natives, the way it takes effect is brutal. So ship that reveals it may not be given action for a number of rounds equal to the number of crew on her. So that'd be 3 rounds of no actions. Last turn she got action, so this is only the first round. So we'll decrease this to 2. They're totally screwed. So I don't know, Patagonia should set sail. I guess not. Yeah, whatever. There's nothing for them to do really. Nothing effective anyway. So Cassandra just barely can't reach this island. Maybe she should have been able to. Maybe I didn't measure earlier. Probably enough, but it's not going to matter. So Neptune's Horde is going to head home now. I think she could hit. Well, she might as well hit the Coeur du Lion, I think, on the way by. She's stuck anyway. She can't even do anything at all. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is a joke now. So it's like just 1 cannon range. Second one doesn't quite hit the flag. So a 3S shot at Coeur du Lion misses, and Grand Temple will start heading home with her 9 gold. And then Jollymon is headed over here towards Patagonia. We'll turn it over, but the other fleet doesn't have much going on. Now they can see that the Jollymon is going to plague the Patagonia. Patagonia is not even able to escape. She has no access to a Houndsman. She can dump Micron in favor of an Oarsman, but it's not really going to help her. But whatever. So she'll exchange Micron for an Oarsman. And then I guess she might as well move. It looks like Core is dead meat. So Jollymon is their last hope to try to get some kind of gold somehow. Okay. So that ends their turn. And then Cassandra starts heading home. We'll go with Neptune's Horde next. So she's gonna move. She's gonna move and ram Core. So 2 shots, shooting to sink with the 3 S's, Havana Black, 1 hit. So dismasted. And then okay, so that would trigger Aura's ability actually. So Princess Aura when the ship is hit. So you roll a 5/6. Crew gets dumped. Okay, no 5/6. Neptune's Horde doesn't want to board. I think Core does want to board, I guess. So that's fine. So go red for Core, black for Neptune's Horde. So Neptune's Horde wins. So Core has to either lose a treasure or eliminate a crew. She's going to go ahead and she can't eliminate Aura. She might give the enemy the Spyglass just because it's not going to matter much. That one doesn't take up space so Horde can actually load it. And that takes out her mast. And then Grand Temple moved. Jollymon did not. So, and then this coming turn is the last turn. Core can't be given actions. So I'll turn over to them. Take this away. Still can't move this turn. Patagonia is going in search of treasure that she'll probably never reach. Turn it back over. Cassandra headed home, and now they can actually capture Core. I think they might even get the combat victory before they even get the more than half. Because yeah, Core, she doesn't have their oarsmen anymore. So Neptune's Horde, she might as well capture her just to take her out of the enemy's hands. And then she's actually going to immediately drop her. Yeah, she's going to immediately drop the toe and just move. S plus L. I'm just going to speed this up with the combat victory. Because they're already up. They don't really care too much about the score. So I don't think they're going to worry about that at all. So I think that does it for this turn. Actually, Jollymon didn't move, I don't think. So that's fine. Okay. I think I'm just going to ignore the timer because it's about to be over. So yeah, I'm just going to pause the timer. Patagonia really has nowhere to run. She can't outrun Jollymon right now. So they're going to get Cassandra home. Or actually not quite yet. They will next turn. They're going to get a little more gold before it ends. Just for the heck of it, basically. So Jollymon is able to ram. So we're going to roll for that ram damage here. Gets it. Plague is transferred to Patagonia, killing Bratley, Robinson, and the face down oarsman. So, and okay. And then, not 100% sure if Plague gives the Trader's Fleet the ransom from eliminating Bratley, but I'll give it to them for now because it's a hostile action. That takes out the Patagonia's mast, and then they would continue coming with the Neptune's Horde. So she's going to move S plus L, and then Grand Temple would move towards home. And then we've got, going back to the other fleet, they know there's no real hope. Try to reach that island, but not going to make it. So, oh yeah, they're just going to capture the Patagonia, and that'll end it faster than sinking her. So Cassandra docks. This will be the last turn. Cassandra gets home. Oh, I forgot to load these coins as a free exploration. But yeah, she was supposed to have those coins aboard the whole time. So it gives them +6. So with the banner and the ransom, it gives them to 12 overall. So now there's plague on Patagonia. So Jollymon will be the one to capture her. No oarsmen to prevent it. She is derelict. And that ends the game. So they've captured all 3 of the enemy ships. And they've won. Now that the other player is out of the game, no future move actions for the HMS Grand Temple fleet. So Treasure Traders wins game 1 in a blowout, 12-0. So really impressive game by them. They benefited massively from that treasure distribution. Once Grand Temple found Missionary, it was really hard for them to recover. Neptune's Horde was able to disable her and then capture the Grand Temple. A nice move with trees to get her up to full health. And then Neptune's Horde went on to capture the core. Cora was kind of stuck between getting slammed by Neptune's Horde sooner if she had gone here, or dealing with the natives, which screws her either way. So kind of a lose-lose situation for the core, trying to make up the difference there once Grand Temple was captured. And then of course taking care of Patagonia at the end is really easy, and they were already up on gold. So Cassandra didn't even really need to unload that extra 6, but gets their score a little higher. So 12-0, game 1 goes to the Traders fleet. So for game 2, we're definitely going to see the Grand Temple fleet radically change their UT distribution to include all 4 Wipers and Revealers, Maps of Alexandria, Pirata Codex, Pirate Globe, and Karmic Idol. They'll probably include the Jailhouse Dog as well, just to maximize their eliminator potentials to knock out negatives. So thanks for checking this out. Stay tuned for game 2 of the series and the rest of tournament number 3. And check out the affiliate links if you want to help out the channel and my site, Pirates of Ven. Beyond that, feel free to comment what you thought of the game and the fleets, and I'll see you in more videos. Thanks for watching.